All right, you're still watching Ways. Today is PTSD Awareness Day. That's Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder Awareness Day. It has a profound effect on the lives of those who suffer from it. The statistics alone are staggering, but can only tell a portion of the story. The trauma and anxiety associated with PTSD is a constant burden, inseparable from the sufferer. It was once a condition that was attributed only to returning combat veterans, but more and more the condition is diagnosed in those who have experienced violent crime or lived through catastrophic events. Now, some of the symptoms people suffering from PTSD may experience are trouble sleeping, reliving memories of the event, anxious or on the edge, avoidance of things or people who remind you of events over time. The signs may fade. Now, however, if they don't fade, seeking treatment is not only suggested but helpful to many who suffer from PTSD. The United States Senate established PTSD Awareness Day in 2010 following then Senator Kent Conrad's effort to designate the awareness as a tribute to Army Staff Sergeant Joe Bale of the North Dakota National Guard. Bale suffered from PTSD and took his own life in 2007 after returning to North Dakota following his second tour of duty in the Iraq War. Bale's birthday, June 27, was chosen to mark PTSD Awareness Day and honor his memory. So post-traumatic stress disorder, I have suffered this, for the longest of time because I went through crisis in the North, So if I hear sounds of loud sounds, like banging sounds, like the knockout and all of that, my heart starts to palpitate. Then at some point we were robbed in school with flashlights. So if we're approaching a police checkpoint
and you see the flashlights,
it just,
takes you back.
I had sleepless nights, you just be thinking, be reliving the memory. And I didn't even see the dead bodies. My sisters were the ones that saw the dead bodies, like burnt human beings.
Really?
Yeah, I was a bit shielded because for some strange reason, for every time the war would break, that day I would just fall ill. And that day, and my dad, unlike him, he would say, even if you're ill, go to school. If it's getting worse, they'll call me to come take you up. But for all the times, he just said, okay, stay home, let me take you to the hospital. And by the time, before we even get to the hospital, the fight breaks out, and they forget that I even forget that I was running a temperature or something. It just happened like that. So despite that, I still have those. So I cannot imagine the people that
we're actually in it and witnessing.
So did you have any experience like PTSD?
Yes, I had one. I suffered something in my life, and that I don't want to talk about on TV. So I understand this, but I thank God that it doesn't affect me anymore.
You're so blessed, Manny. You don't dwell in things.
No, I'm not a dweller. I only dwell in the secret place.
Of the Most High, yeah. How about you, Lady?
Well, I dwell and I can't pretend there. And
are you serious?
I'm telling you, at times I can't just but live through it and then come out on the other side and then get stronger. That's how I know how to deal with it. I don't know how to suppress my feelings. If you ask me how I am, if I'm not fine, I'm not fine.
So you're the kind of person that when you are served breakfast, you guys know what breakfast is.
Breakfast is not even one of the things I would consider.
You stay there and continue listening to love songs
but
and crying and
that's
crying.
the funny thing. It's not there are different things that affect people in different ways. Breakfast would never even matter to me because I've never even countenanced it in the first place. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to serve breakfast just has to decide whether it's yam and egg or it's akara. I don't mind whatever breakfast. I don't even consider it to be breakfast.
Like that.
But I suffered domestic violence. And I find that when people raise their voices around me, it gets me really jittery. And it was my kids that first noticed it and said, I think this is what might be wrong with you. Because even when nobody's threatening you,
you're afraid.
Once you see that there's an elevation in sound, you start getting stiff and defensive, almost as if something is coming at you and you may need to protect yourself from it. So that's my own experience of PTSD. It's been decades, so I survived it.
Thank God.
We live, so let's find what we found in the news.
Honestly, I like you already.
Money. What's your story?
Ibrahim Muhammed forced to resign as CJN after protest letter by 14 judges. So the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Ibrahim Muhammed, resigned on Sunday. According to reports, he cites his ailing health as a reason for his resignation. Last week, in a letter disclosed to multiple media houses, 14 justices of the Apex Court accused the CJN of abandoning his responsibilities as a leader of the court. The judges also accused the CJ of going on foreign trips with his family while denying them the right to go on international training. So it was learned that there was a memo from the justices to the presidency highlighting all of the CJ's financial dealings and stating that they will stop sitting from September if he is not removed. So, however, the CJ, in a statement issued by his spokesman, Issa Ahuraka, said he did not want to join issues with the justices, adding that the circulation of the letter is akin to dancing naked at the market square. So a few hours ago, so this is another report, a few hours ago, President Muhammadu Buhari swore in Justice Olukayode Ariwoola, a justice forgive me, a justice of the Supreme Court, as the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. So President Buhari administered the oath of office on Ariwoola at the council chambers of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Forgive me, Amedo.
So what's the gist of the story?
So the gist of it is that he's not well. He's resigned based on health issues, and they've put someone else to stay there in acting. Yes. Okay, so
let's watch the space. Lady, your story.
We're just going to go back to follow up on the Ekweremadu.
Ekweremadu. Now is your turn to mispronounce.
Abi. And I got it well last week.
Very well. Ekweremadu.
And Ariwola. Okay. So last week, like some people suggested, after we had spoken about the breakout of the story, we also started saying that let's think about it the way most people act when they want to jackpot. Right? Let's take it from that angle that this boy knew exactly what he was going for and he was in agreement of it. He knew that, and then again they say that he's not a minor, that he's actually an adult. I
even saw another one.
Yeah, a family member claims he's 25.
Yes.
The immigration documents of his passport say he's 21, but we know that he's a mature person. I actually zoomed in to look at his visa, and the expiry date is in July. So I believe, let me say allegedly, just to protect myself from any legal acts, I believe that what happened was that this guy saw it as an opportunity to go abroad because they had made the statement that they were going to make life better for him. He saw it as an opportunity to go abroad. And they said that his organ didn't even match. He wasn't a good match. Of course, whether or not it was a good match
found out when they traveled.
When he traveled. Yeah. So whether or not he was a good match, assuming they even went through surgery, the agreement they had at the embassy that they made an application to was that he would come back home. I see it as him trying to, abscond.
Seek asylum. That's what they say.
Seek asylum.
But that is what it is. It's as simple as that. But let me tell you how the law works. It's not about what he intended to do. It's about what the law states.
And how it started in the first place.
Yes, they are not supposed to
solicit for pay.
They are not supposed to do that at all.
Yes.
You understand? So that is what it is.
I heard it's illegal for them to offer money when you're trying to get someone to donate an organ in the UK.
You are not supposed
You're not supposed to get any monetary benefits for it. Anybody that does it
and he's supposed to be accompanied by a family member.
Exactly, in case he doesn't make it out.
See, I don't blame the boy. Anybody right now in Nigeria that sees an opportunity to jackpot,
wasn't it in Zimbabwe that they said they were cutting off toes?
Toes, yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
Someone was already saying that if they brought it to Nigeria.
In fact, I calculated my toes.
I was thinking as well that when will I be able to get property?
You guys are not serious.
It's a joke. As Yorubas, we say Oroburuku Tonte, meaning that it's in jest that we find out what is really serious. Yeah. And we discuss it.
I was seriously calculating it. That's some millions right there.
Abby.
The biggest toe is the most expensive. The tiniest is the
and yours is yellow toe.
I don't believe you. And yellow toes. I'm sorry.
So at the end of the day, on the one hand, when the story broke out, we all were up in arms and trying to accuse this shady, in quotes, politician for having done that, trying to save his child's life. But now they're saying, let us see from a different perspective of it was supposed to be mutually beneficial.
Yes.
And someone has now reneged on the agreement that they had, apart from which he's now trying to incriminate them which is separate.
It's understandable. So what I would just say to this, next time, get a good lawyer.
Absolutely.
Because your lawyer is supposed to do all the checks.
Get money. Get money.
I know a family that actually had a nanny or a house help in the house. Once they accuse you of anything, before it's like you're guilty or proven innocent. That's how it seems.
Yeah. There are some matters that are very, very
sensitive. All right, so mine is just to say that I'm loving Tonto Dike by the minute. She's the deputy governor candidate for what's it called, the ADC, that's African Democratic Congress. So if they can just quickly show the video clip, you know, just to say we're in solidarity with her.
Here present, the governorship candidate of Rivers State, Honorable Tonte, members of the press crew, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on existing protocol and state that today is not a day for long speech, but a day to walk the talk. It is obvious the majority of Nigerians and the good people of Rivers State in particular have complained for far too long on how governance and democratic development dividends have not met international best standards. We have also grumbled on why selfless, vibrant, and innovative youths have not been given the opportunity to participate and contribute their quota towards the development of their states, with special interest in Rivers State, where I personally come from. I am very optimistic that we are in a defining moment in our social and political history, but desperate measures shouldn't be the first and last option. But a technical approach is needed to salvage the plights confronting our dear here present.
Okay, so I'm excited for one thing that, you know, a lot of people have talked, right? Whether you like it or not, as long as I see people like this stepping up to the challenge, it's more than enough for me. Let's not just talk and talk and talk. At least she's doing something, trying to take it a step further, you know, to walk the talk, which is good.
It's
right?
admirable.
What is admirable, yeah. So whether or not she's qualified, whether or not she has the technical know-how, let her first of all go first, because she
how such acts would encourage other people that really have the know-how to do it. Say it might even be just because they want to oppose her that they will step up to the plate. But I mean, with the following that she has and the controversy that seems to follow her everywhere she goes, it's good news. It's going to have traction for a while till we figure it out. Because that party, you know, Nigeria is always seemingly running a two-party system. At times, I feel personally that why do people bother? Personally.
Okay, on that note, let's take a break. Let's discuss guns. I'm thinking I'm going to get one. Stay with us.